Number 1. The whisper of familiarity. You trust what you have seen before, even when it hides danger, because your mind craves patterns that soothe its fears, like warm lights flickering on a rainy street. Repetition feels safe. It becomes truth through comfort, even when truth is absent. This is why a face you barely know can feel like a friend, why a logo repeated in your vision glows brighter than reason. Familiarity whispers, "You belong here," while it gently ties strings around your choices, pulling you toward what is known, leaving what is real for what is simply repeated. Number 2. The silent debt. When someone gives you something, you feel an invisible rope coil around your chest. A gift, a favor, even a simple compliment, each one awakens a shadowed instinct to return it. This is reciprocity, the oldest form of control hidden inside kindness. It makes you lean forward when you wanted to stay still, makes you say yes when your mouth was shaping a no. You think it is generosity, but deep inside your ancient wiring is the voice of survival, whispering that balance must always be paid, and that is how you are moved. Number 3. The eyes that hold too long. A gaze that lingers a fraction longer than it should unsettles your heart, and yet you cannot look away. Staring bypasses words and presses against your instincts, whispering, "Pay attention, trust, surrender." Eye contact burns itself into memory, and memory often masquerades as importance. When someone looks too deeply for too long, you either want to escape or obey, because the primal mind sees it as dominance or intimacy. You call it chemistry, but it is wiring set long before language existed, and it can bend decisions like soft metal in warm hands. Number 4. The rhythm of agreement. Nodding heads pull yours into rhythm, a slow dance of shared approval. When someone subtly mirrors your gestures, or says yes before you speak, your body follows as if magnetized. Agreement feels warm, it smooths the edges of conflict, it invites your trust before you even understand why. The rhythm of yes makes resistance feel unnatural, and even dangerous to the pack instinct still living inside you. We call it rapport, but it is a tuning fork for compliance. A silent chorus repeating, "You are safe here, do what feels right." Number 5. The scarcity signal. The rarer something seems, the more your mind clutches at it, fearing the echo of loss before it ever arrives. Scarcity fires an ancient survival script sad face. If there is less, you must act faster. "I'll limited time offer" feels like hunger no meal can cure. Your thoughts shorten, urgency overtakes logic, and you sprint to capture what may not even matter tomorrow. You think it is strategy, but it is fear wrapped in glittering urgency. Scarcity makes things glow, with false meaning, even as they crumble like dry leaves in your hands. Number 6. The warmth of touch. A hand on your shoulder melts the edges of your defenses, because touch is older than speech. One pat, one guiding push on the arm, and your body whispers back with ancient trust signals. Skin contact lights up trust pathways in the brain, making you open doors you swore were locked. A handshake seals agreements before words can challenge them, and a hug disarms suspicion faster than argument ever could. You call it comfort, but it is control disguised as care. A soft electric current running straight to your will. Number 7. The echo of your own words. When someone repeats what you just said, their voice soft and confirming, your brain sparks with recognition and ease. Mirroring speech feels like being understood, like finding shelter in a storm. It tricks you into feeling alignment, even when alignment does not exist. Hearing your words reflected back builds trust like a slow wave gathering power, nudging you to reveal more, to trust deeper, to say yes where you once hesitated. It feels like connection, but it is a crafted illusion, sculpted carefully with nothing more than your own voice. Number 8. The pause that bends time. When someone falls silent after you speak, their eyes fixed and waiting, your heart rushes to fill the gap. Silence is a question with no words, and the urge to answer becomes unbearable. Negotiators know this well. They let you rush to fill air with things you never planned to give. The pause bends your sense of control, pulling you forward with invisible hands. What feels like stillness is really weight, pressing you until you choose the relief of speaking, often in ways you later wish you hadn't. Number 9. The tilt of authority. A badge, a title, a crisp suit, all these things wrap a voice in power. You listen differently when you believe someone knows more, or can punish, or reward. Authority shortcuts your decision-making because the brain wants safety in hierarchy. You bow to symbols of power, often without knowing why, often against your own better judgment. A clipboard in a stranger's hand can bend your spine, while a uniform can turn your doubt into obedience. Authority is persuasion built into fabric and tone, and its strings pull at places you never see. Number 10. The smile that lies. A smile softens knives and erases shadows, and you want to believe it because it feels safe to do so. Smiling faces light up mirror neurons, telling you this is friend, not foe. It is why con artists grin so easily, why leaders charm with every tooth showing. Your brain craves that flash of warmth, and before you know it, suspicion has dulled. Smiles are ancient passports through guarded gates, slipping strangers into trusted places inside your mind. A smile may comfort, but it can also conceal teeth. Number 11. The fragile weight of praise. Compliments slip past reason like water through open hands, soaking into places you didn't know were dry. Praise feels like sunlight on cold skin, warming you until you lean closer to its source. But it also bends you, ever so slightly, toward those who give it. A single kind word can redirect choices, soften resistance, and tether loyalty like a thread you can't see but still feel pulling. We crave recognition as if survival depends on it, and maybe it once did, but now it often opens doors we swore we would keep locked. Number 12. The foot in the door illusion. One small yes leads to another, and another, until you're standing where you never planned to go. A harmless favor here, a tiny request there, each one paving a path to surrender. You tell yourself you are in control, but the mind clings to consistency. Once you say yes, you want to keep saying yes, because breaking the chain feels like breaking yourself. The smallest opening can pull entire doors wide, and by the time you notice, the hinges of your choice are no longer your own. Number 13. The crowd's quiet gravity. People around you laugh, clap, or stare in silence, and you feel it. The crowd pulls like an invisible tide, shifting your choices before thought has time to intervene. Social proof whispers that safety lies in numbers, that going against the group is danger, even when it's not. Your heartbeat syncs with theirs, your steps follow unseen maps written by strangers. You think you are deciding alone, but the weight of their gaze guides every move. The crowd doesn't just watch, it shapes you. Number 14. The comfort of simple stories. Your mind loves clean edges and easy endings, because complexity tastes like chaos. When someone gives you a story with heroes and villains, beginnings and endings, you breathe easier. But simplicity is a soft net, catching you while hiding the truth that most things are jagged and gray. Stories make the world feel knowable, manageable, safe. That safety invites surrender, makes you accept conclusions you might otherwise question. A good story doesn't just entertain, it gently edits your perception of reality. Number 15. The anchors that hold you. A number whispered first becomes the shadow every other number stands in. You hear $50 before negotiation begins, and suddenly 30 feels like kindness. Anchoring twists your sense of fairness, reshaping what feels acceptable. Your mind latches onto the first thing it touches, like hands gripping the edge of a cliff. Every decision afterward pivots on that anchor, even when logic should cut the rope. First impressions don't just shape moments, they sculpt entire outcomes before you even know they exist. Number 16. The halo of beauty. A beautiful face glows with imagined virtue, pulling trust and admiration like a magnet hidden under silk. You assume kindness, intelligence, honesty, qualities never promised, only projected. Beauty casts a halo that blinds judgment, making flaws invisible, making words sweeter. The bias runs deep, older than language, rooted in survival where health and symmetry meant safety and strong genes. That halo lingers today, bending decisions for reasons you never consciously choose. Beauty does not promise truth, yet we act as though it does. Number 17. The urge to finish what you start. Once you begin, stopping feels wrong. Unfinished tasks scratch at the edges of your thoughts, whispering for closure. This is the Zygarnik effect, the mind's hunger for completion. It drags you back to conversations you wanted to leave, projects you should abandon, even harmful paths you should quit. You keep moving, not because you want to, but because an invisible hand insists you finish. That pull is subtle, powerful, and often used against you when others want you to keep walking their road instead of your own. Number 18. The fragile mirror of laughter. When people laugh at your joke, even politely, a warmth blooms that feels like acceptance. Laughter signals belonging, safety, even love. That craving pulls you to repeat behaviors, to change words and actions just to keep the sound alive. Humor bonds humans quickly, and those who control laughter often control mood, momentum, and even decisions. You lean toward what feels light, away from what feels heavy, even when heavy is honest. A laugh can be leash when you don't notice who's holding it. Number 19. The illusion of choice. Sometimes the menu is long, but all paths lead to the same place. You feel free because options exist, even when those options are mirrors facing each other. The mind relaxes when it thinks it has power, when it believes it is choosing. Marketers know this, leaders know this, and they hand you carefully shaped boxes wrapped in possibility. You feel safe in control, but the edges of the box are invisible walls, and you rarely see them until long after you've chosen exactly what was planned. Number 20. The scar of loss aversion. You hate losing more than you love winning, and that bias burns deep into every choice. Even the thought of loss sparks pain signals stronger than the joy of gain. This is why people hold bad investments, toxic relationships, and habits that hurt them sad face, because letting go feels like dying. Loss aversion shapes entire worlds of behavior, driving fear-based choices, paralyzing risk-taking, and chaining you to yesterday's burdens. It whispers, don't lose what you have, even when what you have is quietly destroying you. Number 21. The glow of scarred wisdom. When someone shows pain earned through experience, you trust them more than a stranger untouched by hardship. Scars feel like proof of knowledge, even when that knowledge is irrelevant to what you need. We equate survival with insight, letting those who have suffered guide decisions without question. Pain becomes currency, and we spend it without checking its value. The glow of scarred wisdom feels safe, but it also blinds you to manipulation, because those who wear their pain well can still lead you into deeper shadows. Number 22. The pull of curiosity. Your mind aches at an unfinished mystery because gaps demand closure. A hidden answer calls louder than a shouted truth. Curiosity pulls you like gravity, pushing you to click, to listen, to seek what you might not even need. Secrets whisper promises of power, of understanding, of control. And so you chase, even when the chase costs more than the reward. Curiosity is one of the oldest triggers, one that opens doors for others to lead you anywhere they want, while you follow only to scratch the itch. Number 23. The safety of repetition. Familiar routines feel safe, even when they no longer serve you. Repetition numbs the edges of change, making bad habits feel like soft beds you never want to leave. This is why jingles stay in your head, why old beliefs hold like vines around a tree. Repetition breeds comfort, and comfort often beats truth in silent battles. Those who repeat themselves gain power over your mind, because their voices become part of your inner voice, and once they live there, it is hard to evict them. Number 24. The illusion of progress. You feel good when you see steps tick away, bars fill, check marks appear. It feels like achievement, like control, even when the goal is meaningless. Games use this, Apps use this, even life systems use this sad face, offering visible signs of progress just to keep you moving. You chase milestones instead of meaning, celebrating completion of tasks someone else designed for you. Progress is powerful, but when it is illusion, it quietly rewires your effort to feed systems that were never yours. Number 25. The trust of shared struggle. When someone suffers alongside you, even briefly, their bond digs deeper than logic can reach. Soldiers feel it, workers feel it, even strangers feel it in fleeting moments of chaos. Shared struggle creates fast loyalty, bending judgment and opening hearts to manipulation. You see someone hurt the way you hurt, and you trust them, even when you shouldn't. That connection feels sacred, but it can be scripted, performed, or manufactured solely to earn your compliance. Number 26. The sweetness of scarce praise. When compliments are rare, their value multiplies. A leader who praises little but chooses their moments carefully controls you far more than one who praises often. Scarce praise feels precious, addictive even, like rain in a desert. You begin chasing it, shaping your actions to please its gatekeeper. A single kind word in a storm of silence becomes a treasure chest, one you will bend yourself to open again and again. Number 27. The trap of future promises. Hope is a currency often spent on tomorrow. Promises of soon, next time, it's coming, all pull you forward like hooks. You endure today's pain for a reward that may never come, because the idea of change is often enough to keep you still. Future promises bind you quietly, keeping you from noticing that later often means never. And by the time you see the truth, the cost is already paid in patience and time. Number 28. The calm of authority's tone. A slow, measured voice feels safe, making even lies sound like truth. Calm tones soothe the nervous system, reducing doubt before it forms. A leader who speaks softly can disarm resistance faster than one who shouts. Calmness tricks your brain into thinking control exists, that everything is stable and safe. It's why people trust voices on airplanes, in hospitals, in crises. Authority often hides behind softness, because softness invites surrender more effectively than fear. Number 29. The pull of the unfinished story. When someone begins a story and stops, your mind leans forward. You want to know the ending, to solve the unfinished puzzle. This is the Zeigarnik effect applied to narratives, and it pulls like gravity. People in power use this pause deliberately, keeping you hooked on half answers, on open loops begging for closure. You call it suspense, but it is often control wearing a creative mask. The unspoken ending shapes your behavior more than the ending itself ever could. Number 30. The sweet poison of belonging. Humans crave belonging as they crave air. A group's approval feels like life itself, making rejection feel like death. This primal wiring pulls you to adopt beliefs, wear clothes, speak words that aren't your own. Belonging soothes loneliness, but it also chains you. Those who control acceptance control identity, and they can shift entire personalities just by offering a seat at the table. You think you are choosing a tribe, but often the tribe chooses you and reshapes you while you smile. Number 31. The sweet trap of reciprocity delayed. When someone gives now and asks later, your mind ties a knot you feel for days, weeks, even years. The delayed favor grows heavier over time, making refusal feel like betrayal. People use this gap deliberately, planting small seeds of kindness only to harvest obedience later. It feels like gratitude, but it is an invisible leash. By the time the request comes, you already feel owned, even if they never intended to say the words out loud. Number 32. The gentle poison of politeness. Politeness is a soft shield that hides sharp edges. We are trained to smile, nod, and agree even when we don't want to. That training bends decisions silently, making you say yes when no is safer. Those who master polite tones can control entire rooms, because disagreement feels like rudeness, and no one wants to feel rude. Politeness manipulates quietly, turning boundaries into blurred lines you barely notice until they're gone. Number 33. The hook of social debt. When someone introduces you to their circle, shares their platform, or opens their door, your mind whispers that you owe them more than thanks. Social debt binds deeper than money because reputation feels heavier than cash. It pushes you to support causes you don't believe in or stay silent when you should speak. The mind fears the weight of social betrayal, so it bends toward repayment, even when the price is your own truth. Number 34. The gravity of the first offer. Whoever speaks first in negotiation often wins, not because they are right, but because the brain clings to the first stake in the ground. This is anchoring again, but sharper, because it frames the entire conversation. Your mind struggles to escape that first number, that first condition. It becomes a mental home base, and even when you walk away, your judgment still circles back to that opening offer like a planet bound by orbit. Number 35. The quiet pull of scarcity by design. When someone makes something rare on purpose, your mind reacts as if it were nature's doing. Limited editions, one-night-only deals, disappearing access, they all hijack the survival code in your head. You reach before you think, because fear of missing out lights up faster than reason can catch it. Scarcity by design is a performance, but it feels as real as drought. And so you pay with urgency instead of patience, because patience feels too expensive to hold. Number 36. The mask of humility. False humility disarms doubt faster than arrogance ever could. Someone pretending to shrink makes you lower your guard, trust more, give more. Humility seems pure, but in the wrong hands it is camouflage. It tells your mind they are safe, they are kind, and you lean in. This mask of humility can hide ambition sharper than a blade, and by the time you notice, it is already too late to step back. Number 37. The gravity of the secret shared. When someone whispers something only for you, a door opens inside. Secrets feel sacred, and holding one makes you feel trusted, special, chosen. That feeling pulls you closer, binds loyalty with invisible knots. Even false secrets carry power, because your mind treats them as gifts, and gifts demand protection. Those who share secrets often shape behavior without force, because no one wants to betray what feels private and rare. Number 38. The illusion of balance. When someone admits one flaw while hiding 5, it feels honest. That small confession builds trust, because it seems vulnerable. Your mind relaxes, believing balance has been found. But often that single flaw is handpicked, a shield hiding deeper truths. You accept the one shown flaw, and stop looking for others, because it feels rude to dig when someone has already bled a little in front of you. Number 39. The gentle weight of silence in groups. When a group grows quiet after you speak, tension floods the air. Silence feels like judgment, even when it is only thought. That discomfort nudges you to fill it, to explain more, to give away more than you intended. In groups, silence becomes a silent whip, steering conversations and bending behavior with no words at all. You fear what you imagine they are thinking, and that fear is enough to reshape truth. Number 40. The heat of urgency. Urgency tricks the mind into shrinking time. When told to act now, you stop comparing, stop thinking, and choose the fastest relief. Urgency bypasses logic because the body believes time is life itself. The faster the clock ticks, the more mistakes feel acceptable as long as something gets done. People exploit this by creating false fires, false deadlines, false emergencies, and you leap, not because you must, but because urgency made you feel. You had no choice. Number 41. The mirror of shared language. When someone uses the same words you do, the same slang, the same phrases, you feel seen. Shared language signals tribe, safety, connection. It lowers resistance without you noticing because your brain whispers, "They are like me." This mirror effect makes strangers feel like allies, and allies feel like family. People adopt your speech to gain trust, to lower your guard, to walk straight through doors you didn't even realize were open. Number 42. The warmth of nostalgia. Nostalgia paints the past in golden light, making you believe it was safer, better, purer than now. Marketers and leaders wield it like music, summoning your softer self from years ago. A song, a scent, an old phrase, all can melt your defenses because nostalgia whispers that you are returning to something you loved. But the past they sell often never truly existed, and what you cling to is a shadow sculpted to hold you still. Number 43. The anchor of physical space. When someone controls where you stand, where you sit, or how a room is arranged, they control how you feel. Rooms tell you when to relax, when to shrink, when to obey. A desk between you and someone else is a barrier of power, while an open circle feels intimate and safe. This spatial trigger shapes behavior silently, guiding decisions before words are even spoken. Space itself can be a weapon, though it feels like nothing at all. Number 44. The scent of trust. Smell bypasses thought and dives straight into memory. A familiar scent, soap like your childhood home, cologne like a trusted friend, can make strangers feel safe. Businesses know this, pumping soft scents into stores, offices, and lobbies to keep you calm. Scents create instant association, linking feelings of safety to new places. You think it's random, but smell has been used to shape behavior for centuries. Soft as wind but sharp as a blade. Number 45. The weight of a name. Hearing your own name feels intimate, personal, magnetic. When someone uses it often, your mind leans forward as if touched. It builds trust because names mean identity, and identity feels sacred. Those who repeat your name bind attention faster, stronger, deeper than those who don't. A name is more than sound, it is self, and hearing it reminds you who you are, even as it nudges you to be who they want you to be. Number 46. The lure of novelty. The brain craves new things like water in drought. Shiny objects, new ideas, fresh experiences light up reward pathways, making you choose the unknown over the safe. Novelty feels like life itself, a promise of more than what you already have. But novelty is often empty, disguised repetition wearing new clothes. It pulls you forward, even when stillness would have served you more. Number 47. The comfort of ritual. Repeating actions in the same way creates a cocoon of safety. Rituals lower stress, creating predictability in a chaotic world. But rituals can also bind you, making you loyal to systems, brands, or leaders who design those rituals intentionally. They give you comfort while quietly shaping how you think, what you feel, and what you fear to lose if the ritual ends. Number 48. The shadow of exclusion. Being left out burns the mind like fire. Exclusion triggers primal panic, because for most of human history, exclusion meant death. This fear is still inside you, shaping choices as you seek acceptance at almost any cost. Those who wield exclusion hold power without touching you, without speaking. They only need to imply you are on the edge of the circle, and your own fear will do the rest. Number 49. The whisper of flattery disguised as curiosity. When someone asks questions about you, your life, your dreams, it feels good. Curiosity feels like care, even when it is strategy. People use questions not just to gather information, but to make you feel important. Your brain rewards attention like food, softening doubt with every inquiry. Flattery doesn't always sound like praise. It often sounds like someone simply wanting to know you. Number 50. The pulse of music. Music bypasses thought, slipping directly into feeling. A slow rhythm can relax you, a fast one can move you to act without question. Businesses, politicians, even armies use music to shape behavior silently. It sets mood, colors memory, and creates emotional anchors you can't easily erase. Music is not just sound, it is persuasion dressed as beauty, and it moves you whether you choose it or not. Number 51. The pull of reciprocity through attention. When someone truly listens, nodding softly, eyes locked on you, it feels rare. That attention feels like a gift, one you instinctively want to repay. You may open more than you intended, agree faster than you planned, Because deep listening feels like love in a world of noise. People use this deliberately, creating intimacy not to understand you, but to guide you silently into yes. Number 52. The trigger of urgent voices. A raised voice cuts through your thoughts like a blade. It spikes adrenaline, pushing you toward action just to stop the tension. Urgent tones bypass logic, forcing compliance through discomfort. You rush to soothe, to solve, to obey, because the sound feels like danger even when danger is not real. Leaders, marketers, even strangers know this instinctively, using loudness as leverage disguised as passion. Number 53. The lure of personalization. When something carries your name, your colors, your preferences, it feels made for you alone. Personalization tricks the brain into feeling valued, special, chosen. It builds loyalty by making you believe no one else could fit the design as perfectly as you do. Yet most personalization is illusion, crafted from data points and algorithms, not true care. Still, it works because the brain loves what feels unique, even when it's mass-produced. Number 54. The trust in confidence. A confident voice feels safe, even when it's wrong. Confidence signals leadership, survival, direction. You are more likely to follow someone who speaks boldly, even if their facts crumble under pressure. This is why liars often win before truth arrives, because certainty feels warmer than doubt. Confidence bypasses reason, giving authority to whoever looks like they already know the way. Number 55. The subtle control of seating. Where you sit matters more than you notice. A higher chair, a central spot, a seat near the exit, these positions shift how safe you feel, how much power you believe you have. People in control choose where others sit intentionally, lowering status without a single word. You think you are choosing freely, but the layout is a script, and you are playing your role. Number 56. The safety of predictable patterns. When behavior repeats, trust grows automatically. Predictability feels safe, even when it leads you to harm. People who create steady rhythms, emails every week, smiles at the same time each day, earn trust without proving worth. Predictability can be manufactured to calm suspicion, to make compliance feel natural, to keep you leaning forward when you should lean back. Number 57. The seduction of the only for you offer. Exclusive access feels like a crown on your head. This is only for you, they whisper, and the world feels smaller, safer, personal. Scarcity blended with personalization creates powerful loyalty. Even fake exclusivity works, because being chosen satisfies a hunger as old as humanity itself. You lean closer, grateful for the seat you think no one else can have, unaware it was built to make you move faster than thought. Number 58. The trap of social proof by numbers. When thousands of others approve, your doubt evaporates. 5-star ratings, large followings, long lines outside doors all say the same thing: you are safe here. Social proof numbs analysis, making you join crowds simply because others already have. People and brands manipulate this daily, knowing that a large following often matters more than truth itself. Number 59. The hook of incomplete instructions. When someone gives you just part of what you need, curiosity fills the gap. You work harder to finish the pattern, often giving more of yourself to reach closure. Incomplete instructions feel like puzzles you can't resist solving, and those who understand this can pull you into tasks you never planned to complete. It feels like freedom, but it is quiet control disguised as mystery. Number 60. The glow of group identity. Wearing the same colors, chanting the same phrases, sharing the same symbols builds invisible loyalty. Groups thrive on sameness, because sameness feels safe. You begin to defend not just yourself, but the group's ideas, even when they contradict your own. Group identity reshapes your choices, bending truth in service of belonging. Those who control the symbols often control the people who wear them. Number 61. The illusion of effortless success. When someone makes greatness look easy, your mind fills the gap with admiration, sometimes even envy. You assume they know something secret, something you don't. This belief opens you to influence, because you want what they have, even if it's just a carefully staged image. Effortlessness feels magical, but most of it is a performance designed to make you chase harder than they ever did. Number 62. The soft trap of compliment sandwiches. A criticism wrapped between praise feels gentle, making you accept things you'd otherwise reject. This compliment sandwich works because your brain relaxes at sweetness before swallowing the bitter truth. People use it in business, in relationships, in negotiations, bending you while making you thank them for it. The kindness feels real, but the message underneath is the real tool. Number 63. The subtle weight of defaults. Most people accept whatever option is pre-selected, whether it's a checked box online or a system already in place. Defaults whisper, "This is normal. This is safe." Changing them feels like effort, sometimes even risk. So you follow the path designed for you, thinking it was your choice all along when it was chosen before you arrived. Number 64. The tug of microaffirmations. Small nods, brief smiles, tiny signals of approval guide you more than you think. These microaffirmations create invisible momentum, shaping what you say and do. A nod can make you continue a thought, even when doubt was rising. A smile can silence hesitation before it speaks. People who know this use it like thread and needle, stitching your choices together without words. Number 65. The pull of urgent deadlines. Deadlines create pressure that feels real even when it isn't. A ticking clock shrinks thought, narrowing focus to one action, complete the task. This urgency overrides reflection, making you choose fast rather than choose well. Marketers, managers, and even loved ones use deadlines to bend your pace and priorities. When time feels scarce, control shifts quietly to whoever holds the clock. Number 66. The calm of predictable cadence. Rhythm soothes the mind. A voice with steady pacing, predictable pauses, even consistent gestures relaxes tension and builds trust. This cadence makes you believe everything is under control, even when chaos hums underneath. People use rhythm to lead, whether in speeches, music, or conversation, because predictability feels like truth. Number 67. The shadow of selective honesty. Telling one painful truth can make every lie beside it feel true. This tactic lowers your defenses because you believe no one who admits fault would deceive you further. But selective honesty is a mask, revealing one scar while hiding many wounds. It earns trust cheaply, spending only what was already broken to cover what still stands. Number 68. The soft power of proximity. The closer someone stands, the more your body reacts. Proximity creates connection or discomfort depending on context. People who master distance can control mood without saying a word, leaning in to dominate, stepping back to calm. You rarely notice it consciously, yet your decisions shift with every inch of space between you and them. Number 69. The emotional echo of music cues. Music before key moments primes how you feel before you even understand why. A sad chord can make you trust more. A heroic sound can make you feel proud. These cues shape perception silently, guiding emotion like invisible currents. You think the moment made you feel it, but often it was the music whispering underneath. Number 70. The trap of irreversible steps. Once you cross a certain line, your brain resists turning back. Irreversible steps create mental lock-in, pushing you to justify staying the course. This is why deposits exist, why people sign symbolic papers before full commitments. You convince yourself it's too late to stop, even when stopping is safer. Commitment feels like progress, even when it's a cage built one choice at a time. Number 71. The subtle magnet of matching energy. When someone matches your posture, your tone, your pace of speech, your nervous system relaxes without permission. This mirroring feels like deep understanding, like finding someone who gets you on a level beyond words. Your defenses fall as if by instinct, because sameness signals safety in the animal brain. People use this deliberately, aligning their energy with yours to create trust they haven't yet earned. The more you feel mirrored, the more you open your heart and mind, often mistaking strategic imitation for natural connection. Matching energy feels like intimacy, but sometimes it is control dressed as empathy. Number 72. The pull of loss-framed choices. When something is framed as potential loss, it commands more of your focus than potential gain ever could. You'll lose this opportunity feels heavier than you might gain something new. This is because your brain evolved to avoid pain above all else. Marketers, negotiators, and even friends use loss-framed language to move you faster than reason allows. It bypasses reflection and makes you act defensively, choosing safety over exploration, even when risk might have led to growth. The words themselves are neutral, yet their structure quietly pushes you toward choices you didn't intend to make. Number 73. The shadow of effort investment. When you pour time, energy, or money into something, you cling to it even when it no longer serves you. This is the sunk cost fallacy, a silent force that binds you to failing plans and toxic relationships. People use this trigger to keep you invested because the more you've given, the harder it feels to walk away. You justify your choices, convincing yourself it's still worth it, even when your heart whispers otherwise. This shadow turns commitment into a cage, locking you to paths you would abandon instantly if you were starting from zero today. Number 74. The whisper of false consensus. When you believe everyone thinks something, it feels wrong to disagree. This illusion of consensus is powerful because the human brain equates agreement with safety and belonging. People exploit this by claiming support that may not exist, by presenting opinions as if they are universal truths. The fear of standing alone pushes you to silence your own thoughts, to follow trends you might not believe in. False consensus doesn't just guide behavior, it reshapes perception itself, making you feel outnumbered even when the room is empty. The whisper of everyone agrees bends the strongest wills quietly. Number 75. The soft weight of gratitude traps. Being thanked for something you didn't do yet creates pressure to fulfill it. Thanks in advance sounds kind, but it is often strategy disguised as courtesy. Gratitude traps push you to follow through because rejecting kindness feels like cruelty. Even small acknowledgments pull you closer to compliance because humans crave consistency between words and actions. People who understand this can make you carry obligations you never agreed to while feeling good about doing it. Gratitude is beautiful, but in careful hands it can be used like invisible rope around your decision-making and your time. Number 76. The illusion of momentum. When progress is visible, even fake progress, your brain urges you to keep going. This is why loyalty cards start half-filled, why apps celebrate small wins early, why tasks are broken into steps you can see. The appearance of movement creates real motivation, even when nothing has changed but perception. People and systems use momentum illusions to lock your attention, to keep you engaged in processes you might abandon if you saw them clearly. It feels like progress, but sometimes it is only a treadmill built to keep you running in place. Number 77. The safety of familiar faces. Even strangers who look or sound like people you know feel safer. Your brain connects faces to emotional memories, giving trust based not on merit but on resemblance. This bias bypasses rational thought and flows from ancient survival instincts because similarity once meant tribe, and tribe meant life. Today it means you can be persuaded by someone simply because they remind you of home, of love, of childhood safety. People use this by hiring relatable faces, casting familiar types, shaping marketing to look like family. Familiarity creates warmth, but it is warmth that can be weaponized. Number 78. The hook of limited seats. When told there are only a few spots left, the scarcity impulse triggers instantly. You imagine the door closing forever, locking you out. This fear of exclusion drives you to act faster than reason allows. People craft these illusions deliberately, sad face, empty rooms staged as full, fake counters ticking down. Even knowing it might be false doesn't stop the reaction because your nervous system is faster than your logic. Limited seats pulls you into action like a magnet, and you may only notice the manipulation long after the choice is made. Number 79. The glow of selective stories. People tell stories that highlight wins and bury failures, painting reality in soft light. When you hear only the highlight reel, you assume success is easy and struggle is rare. This creates trust in the storyteller and aspiration in you. Marketers and leaders do this daily, framing narratives to feel hopeful and simple, so you follow their path believing it will be smooth. But behind every curated story is chaos omitted on purpose. Selective stories guide behavior. Gently, because we trust the storyteller's honesty while ignoring the silence around what was left unsaid. Number 80. The trigger of visual contrast. Your eyes love differences. Sad face, black text on white paper, a bright button on a dull screen, a bold person in a quiet room. Visual contrast pulls your focus instantly, and where attention goes, influence follows. Designers and persuaders use this constantly, drawing your gaze to what they want you to choose, hiding what they want you to ignore. This trigger feels harmless, but it guides behavior silently, making decisions feel self-made when they were gently pushed. Focus feels like free will, but often it is only the brightest object in the room whispering your name. Number 81. The pull of prestige symbols. Logos, titles, luxury items, they glow with invisible weight. Prestige signals status, triggering deep social instincts to admire and obey. You see a person with an expensive watch or high-ranking title and assume competence, integrity, leadership. Yet prestige is often surface, carefully staged to shape your perception. A suit can command attention faster than a lifetime of skill. People use these signals deliberately, understanding how your brain shortcuts judgment when status appears. Prestige feels like proof of worth, but sometimes it is only a costume sewn to manipulate respect you never intended to give. Number 82. The safety of predictable smiles. A consistent smile softens fear like a warm light on cold skin. It signals kindness, safety, approval, whether true or not. Those who always smile seem trustworthy because your brain links predictability to stability. But a rehearsed smile can be a mask, a tool used to lower defenses and steer trust. Even subtle changes in expression affect your decisions, because you instinctively mirror the emotions of those around you. Predictable smiles can bond groups, influence sales, and ease conflict, yet often hide intent you will never see until the smile fades at last. Number 83. The hook of the last chance. When something is called your final opportunity, your body reacts with urgency. Last chance hijacks logic because the brain fears permanent doors closing. Even when options remain, you feel time and possibility collapse around you. This phrase appears everywhere: ads, negotiations, relationships, pushing people to say yes out of fear rather than desire. The words feel small, but they ignite primal alarms built to keep you from missing life or death chances long gone from modern life. Last chance doesn't always mean reality, but it always means control working quietly in your nervous system. Number 84. The illusion of warm colors. Warm colors, red, orange, yellow, trigger feelings of energy and urgency without you knowing why. Restaurants use them to make you hungry, brands use them to make you excited. Colors bypass logic and land directly in emotion, shaping how long you stay, how much you spend, even how you feel about strangers. People who design environments know this deeply, wrapping places in hues that subtly nudge your choices. You think you are immune, yet colors speak in a language older than thought, guiding behavior with signals carved into your biology for survival itself. Number 85. The anchor of first impressions. Your brain clings to first impressions like roots in stone. Whether it's a handshake, a glance, a single word, those moments sculpt entire beliefs about people and things. Even when new evidence appears, your mind struggles to update. This bias locks you to early judgments, making you loyal where you shouldn't be, or distrustful where trust is deserved. People leverage this by staging introductions carefully, knowing that the first spark of opinion can guide long-term decisions. First impressions feel small, but they often decide outcomes before thought can catch up. Number 86. the glow of shared humor. Laughter builds connection faster than almost anything else. Sharing humor releases endorphins, lowering defenses, bonding strangers into allies. People who make you laugh feel safer, even when their intent is hidden. Humor can soften harsh truths, disarm critical thinking, and frame people as trustworthy who have not earned it. This is why leaders use jokes before serious statements, and why humor sells ideas and products so easily. Shared laughter feels honest, but it can be wielded like a velvet rope pulling you closer without resistance. Number 87. The pressure of silent pauses. Silence after a question feels like weight on your chest. It pushes you to speak more, to explain, to reveal what you might not otherwise share. People use pauses deliberately in negotiation and persuasion because silence feels like judgment even when it isn't. You rush to fill the gap, often giving away too much or agreeing too quickly. This quiet pressure works because the human brain prefers noise to unknowns. Silence may feel empty, but in skilled hands it becomes a loud and invisible weapon. Number 88. The pull of relatability. When someone tells a story that feels like yours, your brain opens doors to trust and connection. Relatability creates the illusion of shared identity, even when lives are vastly different. This trigger works because humans evolved to bond with those who seem like tribe, who share struggles or joys. Marketers, leaders, even manipulators use relatable narratives to build loyalty. It feels natural to like someone who understands, but relatability is often crafted on purpose, carefully designed to mimic your values while hiding theirs entirely. Number 89. The soft chains of loyalty rewards. Loyalty programs feel like gifts, but they are tools to keep you from leaving. Small rewards, points, perks, levels turn free choice into habit. Your brain sees progress and doesn't want to abandon it, even if better options exist elsewhere. Loyalty rewards work because they blend two triggers, investment and exclusivity. You feel special for staying, but often you stay because leaving would feel like losing what you've already earned. The chain is invisible, made not of steel but of points and promises. Number 90. The weight of eye-level placement. Where something sits shapes whether you choose it. Items placed at eye level grab more attention, feel more important, and are chosen more often than those above or below. This principle fills stores, websites, even politics. Whoever controls placement controls perception. Your eyes naturally focus where effort is minimal, and effort shapes decisions quietly. You think you are free to browse, but someone designed the layout to steer you subtly into many predictable choices. Number 91. The illusion of authority through complexity. When someone uses big words, charts, and data-heavy phrases, your mind leans toward believing them, even when you don't fully understand. Complexity creates the illusion of intelligence, making you assume expertise where none may exist. People use this by speaking in ways that feel above your level, making you less likely to question. Instead of asking for clarity, you nod along, fearing embarrassment or assuming the issue is with you, not them. This mental shortcut evolved because in ancient times, trusting experts meant survival. Now it means surrendering judgment to anyone who sounds smart enough, even if they're weaving words to gain control instead of sharing truth. Number 92. The subtle power of name dropping. When someone links themselves to important people, your perception shifts without effort. They might mention knowing a powerful friend, a famous brand, or an admired figure. This association borrows credibility and wraps it around them, giving their words extra weight. Your brain sees connection as validation, assuming that if others of status trust them, you can too. Name dropping works because we evolved to respect social hierarchies, where being near the powerful often meant safety or opportunity. Today, it manipulates choice silently, pushing you to agree or admire not because of proof, but because of proximity to someone else's glow. Number 93. The gravity of unfinished favors. When someone begins helping you but doesn't finish, you feel compelled to wait, to follow up, even to compromise your own plans. The human brain hates incompleteness, treating it like a dangling thread that must be tied. People use this deliberately, starting favors or commitments they know they will owe you later because it keeps you connected, patient, and open to future influence. This works because gratitude and closure instincts combine, chaining you to an invisible loop of waiting. It feels harmless, but unfinished favors are strategic hooks, pulling you back again and again until you forget why you agreed at all. Number 94. The glow of manufactured urgency in crowds. When you see others rushing, grabbing items, running toward exits, or joining lines, your body reacts instantly. You assume they know something you don't, and urgency blooms like fire in your chest. This is herd instinct, a survival mechanism from when following the group meant life or death. Today it is used in events, sales, even protests to push quick action. The crowd's urgency replaces your reasoning because humans are wired to avoid being the only one left behind. It feels like personal choice, but often it is just mass emotion pulling you like a current you can't see. Number 95. The emotional weight of scarcity in love. When affection feels rare, its value skyrockets beyond reason. Someone pulling away slightly, withholding attention, or offering approval only in doses makes you chase harder than you would otherwise. Scarcity works in emotions as powerfully as it does in products. People unconsciously use this by being just out of reach, making you work for connection that should be mutual. It rewires how you value them, making small gestures feel like treasures. This emotional scarcity trap can keep you in cycles of unbalanced relationships, giving too much for too little because your brain equates rare affection with precious love. Number 96. The echo effect of repetition. When someone repeats a phrase or idea often enough, your brain begins to treat it as truth, even when it isn't. This is called the illusory truth effect, and it shapes how advertising, politics, and culture spread beliefs. Familiarity breeds comfort, and comfort bypasses critical thought. People who understand this craft slogans, memes, and simple mantras because your mind eventually absorbs them as fact. Repetition doesn't argue, it whispers until resistance fades, sliding ideas past your defenses simply because they've been heard before. It feels like memory, but it is influence wrapped in rhythm. Number 97. The invisible grip of commitment devices. When you make public promises, sign contracts, or even tell a friend you'll do something, you lock yourself in. People design commitment devices to keep you on paths you might abandon otherwise. Gyms do it with annual contracts, tech companies with ecosystems, relationships with symbols like rings or ceremonies. These devices take advantage of your desire to appear consistent, to avoid embarrassment or loss of reputation. What feels like free choice at the start often becomes obligation later because your brain resists admitting change or failure. The grip is soft, but it is strong enough to hold you long after desire fades. Number 98. The weight of emotional mirroring. When someone matches your emotions, your excitement, sadness, even anger, you feel understood, safe, and loyal. Emotional mirroring is powerful because it tells your nervous system, we are the same. Therapists use it for healing, leaders for motivation, and manipulators for control. This reflection bypasses logic, binding you through feeling rather than fact. It builds deep trust, even when the mirrored emotion is strategic rather than real. You rarely question intent when someone feels what you feel, and that makes emotional mirroring one of the quietest tools of persuasion humans have ever discovered. Number 99. The halo of shared secrets. Sharing secrets creates immediate intimacy. Someone whispering, "Don't tell anyone," activates deep instincts about loyalty and closeness. People use this to create fast trust, even when the secret is trivial or fabricated. This strategy works because secrecy feels sacred, a bond sealed in silence. Your brain treats shared secrets as proof of alliance, pulling you closer to the person or group who trusted you. Yet these bonds can be false, built on illusions designed only to hold your loyalty long enough to influence your choices. Secrets feel holy, but sometimes they are chains disguised as gifts. Number 100. The endless loop of hope marketing. Hope is one of the strongest motivators ever discovered. Promises of a better life, a future reward, or relief from pain can hold people captive for years. Marketers and leaders use hope to keep you waiting, paying, or committing long after results fail to appear. Hope softens reason, because the brain clings to possibility even when reality fades. It is why people stay in bad jobs, toxic relationships, or broken systems, because they still believe next time or soon. Hope is beautiful, but in skilled hands it becomes a loop, trapping you gently until you forget to escape it all.